research has shown that men tend to apply to jobs that they don't fulfill all the requirements. So if given a list of 10 on the JD, right, requirements or skills that's required for a JD, like men are okay with 5, right? But whereas women, like 9 or 10, that's when they're going to start applying. So studies have shown that. So reduce the number of skills and requirements for your JD itself to 7 or fewer. That's the magic number. And then also hide the names of the women actually applying and the men actually applying. And it's even better because you end up judging based off of merit and not just like, oh, this person has a great sounding name. They sound like a person that I would want to work with, right? Making assumptions like that. Or, hey, this person has an ethnic sounding name. Maybe they don't speak English well. Who knows what it is? But I certainly understand the reason behind it. It's all unconscious bias.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big one to unpack. For sure. Anyone else? Jesse, were you about to speak on that?
Yeah, my desk phone rang, so I had to mute real quick and send that to voicemail. Excuse me. Yeah, Naomi, I saw you post that on LinkedIn. It was maybe a week ago or something like that. And I thought, wow, that's a really great idea. I think that's an easy step that anybody can take, And I think that also prevents a bias where we're talking about we hire somebody for the sake of that. And I think that's just as bad, right? Like we don't want to try and just check a box because the best ideas should always win. And so, I go back to, what can we do to change the representation in the space? And it goes back, I think sometimes we were not thinking outside of the box enough, or I'll just own that and say, maybe I'm not thinking outside the box enough, is going back to addressing the root cause and going back to mentorships and starting on the front end and trying to encourage and find people to mentor to grow the applicant pool of those different groups as well. So I think doing both of those things could really increase and help with that. So,
if I could, this is actually a topic that's very near and dear to me. So my wife, when she tried to break into cybersecurity, there were very few women in the space, and I actually mentored her back in the day when we were friends. She now works in cybersecurity. And she's actually sat in front of women in high school and college settings and encouraged them also to pursue a degree. My staff is 58% women. So 2 of my leads are females, and I have somebody from China on my staff. I mean, I have a very diverse staff. I don't look at names specifically. I look at, can they bring the right skill sets? I think a lot of it also has to do with encouraging them to pursue the studies and also encouraging the confidence. To Naomi's point, which is don't worry about whether you meet 8 of the 10 things. That's like a wish list. So everybody, it's a wish list. But the job that the hiring manager has, a hiring manager, if you have enough of his foundational knowledge and you do very well in the interview, is going to hire you. Right. And they're not going to worry if you meet all 8 to 10 requirements. At least that's not my requirement, but I do put a wish list together. And so I do think that it starts young. I think that we should be in the classrooms. We should be encouraging, young children to pursue the sciences. We should be reinforcing that in high school. We should really be reinforcing that in college. And I think that as companies go out in these job fairs, that they should, have programs that are looking to encourage women to come into technology because they are an invaluable asset that we are not utilizing to its fullest potential.
Yeah, those are some great points. It's obviously a very, very, it's not a simple problem to solve, but I think just to be able to talk and think about it is going to help, instead of just ignoring the issue. So it's good to hear everyone's different take on it. We have a lot of questions coming in, which is amazing. So just a reminder, keep submitting them. If we don't get through all of them, we're going to hopefully have another one of these in 3 months or so. So hopefully, we'll get a chance. So I'll just have maybe 1 or 2 more of the questions that we had talked about before. A lot of what you guys have kind of mentioned, I feel, throughout the panel has been job descriptions. So let's talk about that a bit more. I think everyone has a lot to say about that topic. If that is part of the problem, in that entry-level job descriptions aren't truly entry-level, if you believe that's part of the problem, then how can employers identify talent, and what skills should be required, if any, for entry-level cybersecurity roles? Jesse, did you want to go?
Yeah, I can feel that. so, you know, how do you, we've kind of alluded to it. So I'd say we're kind of piggybacking off of some of the things we said, but, you know, working with the HR department to rewrite and, you know, say, hey, this is okay. And I just did this. I just hired someone where I did have a lot of things I wanted in the role. And I basically went with the recruiters and said, listen, I want you to go get me hungry people, entry-level people-ish, who and tell the applicants, like, I don't need you to do all these things. I need you to do some of them. And these are all the, look at it, these are all the things you're going to learn in this job.